So I worked in many countries where journalists are arrested or stopped from reporting, but you're aware of the situation in those places. That's not something we expect in the United States, where the First Amendment protects freedom of speech and freedom of press. So, seeing the news that Don Lemon, former CNN anchor, now an independent journalist, was arrested was pretty shocking. Now, initially, it wasn't clear what the charges were, but Don Lemon's lawyer spoke to CNN and said he was charged with violating the FACE Act. Now, that's a federal law that bars the use of force, threats, or physical obstruction that interfere with someone's right to worship. But in this case, the government is essentially alleging that Don Lemon blocked or interfered with worshipers trying to participate in a church service. He was filming a protest in a church in Minneapolis. He was covering it as a journalist, not taking part in the protest. Lemon's lawyer says he was also charged with a civil rights conspiracy count tied to the same incident. Now, I want to show you a clip from Don Lemon's broadcast when he was covering the church protest. You can hear him clearly say that he's not part of the protest and that he's a journalist.
So I don't know if this is what they deem as successful or not. But anyways, I'm not going to get in the middle of it because I'm not here as an activist. I'm here as a journalist.
Now, his lawyer issued a statement saying Lemon was acting as a journalist there and therefore protected by the First Amendment, which covers freedom of speech and press, as I mentioned. What was even more confusing when the news broke is that Don Lemon wasn't arrested in Minneapolis, but he was arrested in LA, where he went to cover the Grammys. So, what emerged was that the Justice Department first tried to charge 8 people, including Lemon, last week. A magistrate judge then rejected those charges, saying that there was insufficient evidence. But then prosecutors went to a grand jury, which returned an indictment. Now, this is really unprecedented for any democracy, especially the United States, that's built on the freedom of speech. Journalists who work for big networks get some protection, but all journalists, including independent journalists here, are protected by the First Amendment. So these arrests are a disturbing precedent.